with comedian Dave Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So yesterday, me and the misso were looking up places to go for this long weekend, because it's 4 days. We don't usually get 4 days. And everything was just too fucking expensive. We got priced out of the game, completely and utterly shut out. Even Adelaide was too expensive, and who the fuck wants to go to Adelaide? So we're having a little scrounge around on the fucking Skyscanner, and my wife has been trying to organise something for my birthday coming up this year, like a cruise or some shit like that. And we're like, fuck a cruise. What the fuck am I going to do on a cruise? A cruise is for like fat old drunks who love buffet. I mean, I love buffet, but what am I going to do on a fucking cruise for the other fucking 22 hours in the day? Watch some hack comedian and probably fucking gamble. I've got no business being on a fucking cruise ship. I couldn't care less about a fucking cruise ship. So we're like, maybe let's go to Bali. And even tickets to Bali were pretty expensive for October. And we had a little look around, little further look. And there were fucking cheap flights to Vietnam. $400 return from Sydney to Vietnam. So we're like, should we just go to fucking Vietnam for a week or whatever? And she was on board, I was on board, so we just fucking booked it. So October, I'm heading to Vietnam, gonna have some fucking authentic pho, and I'm not too sure what else I'm gonna do there as well. Last time I was in Vietnam, I did heroin. I did heroin, and I drank. Oh my God, did I drink? I got into Ho Chi Minh City, and I'd heard Nha Trang is the place to go in Vietnam. So I'll go to Nha Trang and I'll travel up north and get to Hanoi. And I'll fly from Hanoi to Thailand because I was meeting cunts for fucking New Year's Eve. And so I spent 2 nights in Ho Chi Minh. I can't even remember because I was fucking hammered in Ho Chi as well. I remember being in the hostel and everyone was like, fucking, we're going to go down the fucking tunnels that the Viet Cong used to beat the Americans. I think they're the Chi Chi tunnels or some shit like that. And I was too hungover to go. I'm like, no, I'm not going. And I just started drinking again. And I had 2 nights drinking in Ho Chi Minh. I can't remember one single fucking thing I did in Ho Chi Minh. I can't even remember eating in Vietnam the whole time I was there. I can't remember having a pho, a banh mi. I can't even remember eating rice at all. I just remember fucking drinking heavily. And so I went from Ho Chi Minh to Nha Trang, and I got to fucking Nha Trang. And this is back in the days where you didn't have to book anything. You just rocked up somewhere and just turned up to hotels and started bargaining. Just with your backpack and your fucking bad breath and you fucking haven't had a shower in fucking a week. Just like, do you have rooms here? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, how much? And they're like $12 a night. And you're disgusted at the expense of that. So you storm out. You're like, I'm not paying any more than $6. So I get to Nha Trang and I start going door to door on these hotels. And the first place I went to, they're like, it's $8 a night. And I'm like, what kind of shit hostel is this going to be? And they showed me the room. There were 2 double beds and a spa for $8 fucking bucks a night. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. It was right on the beach. It was the best place I'd stayed in for like a month or so. And then I remember dropping my stuff off and I was like, oh, maybe I'll go for a little walk, see what's happening, maybe get a little bit of food. I can't remember getting the food, but I remember starting drinking and I didn't stop drinking for the next 8 days. Actually, the only time I did stop drinking was to take the heroin. And I've told the heroin story before. I've told it like on several different things, but yeah, that was the only time I stopped. And it was another one of those little magic periods where it was just 8 days and every single thing I fucking touched turned to gold. And so I just partied in Nha Trang. That's all I did. I can't even really remember that much. I remember specific little parts. I was hanging out with this Australian girl from Melbourne and this Swedish girl for a little bit. And then this Muslim girl from Brunei was hanging out for a little while. It was just darts. Darts, Mekong. I think the beer was called Mekong. This is, how long ago was this? This was 2008. Like November or October or something, 2008. So it's going to be 16 years ago. Yeah, fuck. I have no idea what fucking Vietnam's like now. It was like $1 beers, $2 for a fucking deck of ciggies. I can't remember eating any food, but I assume the food was cheap as fuck. And then after the 8 or so days of Nha Trang, I just had to catch a bus back to Ho Chi Minh City and then fly out of Ho Chi Minh to Thailand. And that was all I saw of Vietnam. I have some very fond memories of it, but I didn't see shit. I didn't see the Mekong. I didn't see whatever else there is. Hanoi. I got nowhere near Hanoi. I didn't see a rice field. I definitely didn't eat a pho, that's for fucking sure. Because I remember it was like years later, my friend took me to a Vietnamese restaurant and I had a pho for the first time. Like, it was the first time I'd ever seen a pho. I'm like, how did this slide past me? I was in Vietnam. That's the difference now. Like, this will be a memorable trip as well because this will be like the first proper overseas family trip besides India. So it'll be different memories. But as you get older, instead of traveling for 110% purely fucking hedonistic reasons, you travel, I don't know. Why do you travel? For like the culture? You travel for food. That's what everyone wants to go overseas for now, is just eating. I can't remember eating anything any time I went overseas. I remember Bangkok, Koh San Road. There's a little fucking noodle place, like a street food noodle place that does this like wonton noodle soup. And it's been there every time I've gone back to Thailand. When was the last time I went back? 5 years ago. So 15 years. And if I went back again now, if it was still there, that'd be like 20 years. I remember eating there a few times, but I can't remember eating anything else in Thailand ever. I'm sure I did. When people go, is the food good in Thailand? I'm like, I think it is. I can't really remember eating. Anyway, that's coming up. That's a cheap family holiday. $1,600 to get the whole family to Vietnam and back. I mean, I've been working for like 2 weeks, so there goes the pay. But fucking, you got to do what you got to do. And the Boyle is back to Vietnam. I think we'll give Nha Trang a wide berth. I don't need to go back there. That can just be a memory for me. Anyway, that'll fucking do it for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see ya the fuck later.